Hello everyone, welcome to my channel WishInfinite. So today we will start our live quiz for the Playwright interview live questions. Okay, so I will just share my screen. I've already shared the link, so you can join the quiz using that particular link. And sorry for the little delay. Now you should be able to see my screen. You can use the QR code or the link which is given into the comment section to join this particular quiz. I will just wait for 2 minutes and then we will start the quiz. We are already delayed. I'm just putting a counter of 2 minutes and then we will start the quiz. You can quickly join using the link or the QR code which is given into the screen. So I will just give you a brief that what we are going to do. If you are a new who is not aware about the quiz, that what we do. So I will just explain you. So we are going to discuss some of the questions. So today, so previously we have already discussed some of the topics from the playlist. So you can watch this particular playlist. So inside this playlist, you would be able to see different topics, and for each topic we have for different topics we have already discussed different quiz questions, right? And recently I have created one video for the JavaScript for the automation tester, which is currently available for the gold members. So if you have not watched that video and you want to watch, so you can go through this video. I've also created one video which is specifically for the TypeScript for automation tester, so that should be live somewhere into the next week. So previously we have discussed multiple topics, right, for Playwright interview questions quiz, and today we are going to discuss questions related to this handle radio button in Playwright. So if you have not watched this video, I would recommend you to watch this video. And apart from this, we would also be covering this particular topic, handle checkbox in Playwright, right? So for both of them, the method is similar only, so we should be able to cover it. I mean, these are small topics only, but you should be aware that there is a checkbox, or in the interview questions, if someone is asking these questions, so you should be aware about it. So now timer is almost over. We will just start the quiz. Let me open the VS Code also, so if anything would be required to explain there, I should be able to do that. Okay, so now let's start with our quiz. We have already multiple people who have already joined the quiz. So here is our first question. You will be getting 30 seconds for each question, as it do not cover much code, so I have given only 30 seconds. Which method should you use to select radio button? And these are the different options. It can be click, select, check, and fill. So you need to select the correct option. So these are very basic question, and here you just need to select one option, and we have got our answers. Let me reveal the correct answer. So we have got 86% for the correct answer only, which is the check method which we need to use. How to use that I will quickly show you into the VS Code also. So see, here if you are having any locator, you just need to select, let's say if you have a checkbox where you need to select that what is your gender, it can be male, female, so you can just use this check button onto that particular locator to select that particular checkbox, right? And now let's go to the next question, which is how do you verify that checkbox is checked? And here you can see different options. I'm not reading them out. You can just quickly go through these options and then just select the correct answer. It can be A, B, C or D. You are having 15 more seconds. So here we want to check that particular checkbox is checked or not, right? And guys, in between, if you are having any doubt, just please let me know into the comment section, so I should be able to clear your doubt. So we have got 86% answer for the option B. Let me reveal the correct answer first. So option B is the correct answer only, where we need to use this to be checked onto the expect. So first we need to use this expect, okay, where you would be passing the locator on which you want to check that particular element is checked or not, and then you need to use this to be checked method, right? How you need to use that? So it is simple assertion only. See, here we are using that expect. Here we have passed the locator, right? And then we need to check that it should be to be checked. So this is our locator, right? Male radio, which we passing here under the expect. You can directly pass this locator also, and here we are using this to be checked method, and we are using await here because this to be checked method is going to return as the promise, right? So that's why we are using await. Like this, you can check any of the checkbox that it is checked or not, right? Into the application, let's say you need to verify that automatically there is one of the checkbox which is part of any of the nodes, right? Usually you would see that we get some of the disclaimer and automatically yes is selected there, right? So in such cases you can verify that to be checked, you can use this to be checked, right, to verify that particular element is checked or not. Now let's go to the next question, which is which method uncheck a checkbox. And here are different options like remove, option B is uncheck, option C is deselect, and option D is unselect. So you can select the correct answer here. So here we are talking about the checkboxes, right? That which method you need to use to uncheck a checkbox. Usually if you have gone through my 2 of those videos, you would be seeing that there are multiple similarities between radio button and checkbox handling, right, through the Playwright. And we have got 100% option correct for the uncheck method. Let me reveal the correct answer. So this is the correct answer only, that whenever there are multiple checkboxes, right, or there is one selected checkbox which you want to uncheck, right, so you can simply provide that locator and then uncheck method. How to use that? It is very simple, right? You can use it like this, right? Await page.locator, whatever the locator which you are using, and then this uncheck method. And here we added this await because it is returning a promise, right? And here you can see more details, right? Ensure that the checkbox or radio element is unchecked. So either you can use this uncheck method. You would say you can also use the click method, but you can use it, but that will toggle that particular thing, right? So that's why we need to use this uncheck method, which is provided by the Playwright. Now let's go to the next question. First, let me see the leaderboard. So here we have Saurabh onto the first position. Then we have Abhishek, Preeti, Shiva, and Jatin. Now let's go to the next question. So which element support locator.check? Only radio, only checkbox, both radio and checkbox, and option D is any input field. You can select the correct answer. So whenever you are using check method, which element would be supporting that particular method, right? You have 5 more seconds. Okay. So now we have got 29% for only checkbox and both radio and checkbox, right, for the 71%, which is the correct answer. Okay, so we can either use, we can use this check method onto the radio button or onto the checkbox. It would be checking, it would be used to check both the items, right? Let me just quickly open my site where we would be able to see different radio buttons and checkboxes. And guys, if you're not using this particular website, so you can use this website. Here you would be able to see different elements which you see in your daily life, right, onto the site, which you can interact and you can do your practice using these elements. And if you go through this particular site and if you feel that some element is not available and you want me to add that, just let me know so I can add it and publish that into the site, right? So here we have just a second. Let me open where we have checkboxes. So see, here we have checkboxes and radio button, right? You can use the check method onto these radio button or onto the checkbox. And how you would be able to verify that these are the radio button or checkboxes? So in such cases, let me inspect that and see. Here we can use either these radio button where you would be able to see type as radio, or the checkboxes. Let me inspect the checkboxes. See, here the type would be the checkboxes. So on both the input elements you can use that check method. How to use that we have already seen. You just need to provide the locator and the checkbox, right? Here also we have the locator, and then on that we have used the check method. So it is very simple concept, right? Now let's go to the next one. And guys, in between, if you are having any doubt related to any of the topic where we are discussing, right, currently we are discussing checkboxes and the radio button, so you can ask your question and feel free to post your answer, right? Don't hesitate if you are having very basic question also. Okay, now let's go to the next question. What happens if you call check on a already checked checkbox? So it throws an error, it toggles state, nothing changes, and it refers page. So you have 15 more seconds. You can select the correct answer. Okay, we have got our answers. Let me reveal the correct answer. So option C is the correct answer, which is nothing changes. Let's say if you are using a checkbox, right, and on that you use that locator dot check. So it is specifically to check the particular checkbox. So again, also at by mistake, also if you are using the check method onto the same locator, it is not going to do anything because it is already checked and it is specifically for checking that checkbox, right? So it is not going to uncheck it, and that's where this click and check come into picture. You can also click onto the checkbox, but it will toggle it, right? So it is more secure way where we know that whenever we will use this particular check method, it is going to check that method, right? Now let me go to the next question. That which assertion verify a checkbox is not checked? So it is here we want to check that checkbox is not checked, right? The similar way we have checked the particular checkbox should be checked, we can check that it should not be checked, right? You can select the correct answer from A, B, C, and D. We have got one comment from Pratik. That quizzes are very informative as always. Thank you, Pratik. Okay, so we have got our answers. Let me reveal the correct answer. So option B is the correct answer, that we can use this to be checked method with this not, right? So we need to use this expect locator, and then before this to be checked method we need to use this not. And as we are using this to be checked, so it returns a promise where we need to use this await keyword, right? So here we used this particular method to check that a particular element, it can be checkbox or the radio button, is checked or not. So similarly we can use this not to be checked, right? So provide the expect, inside that provide the locator, then you need to use this not to be checked. Okay, similarly for the checkbox also the same thing is going to be there. You need to use this not to be checked method, right? Here I am not discussing the whole code, right? It is very basic code that we are importing the test, creating the test block, and then we are just hitting the URL and then just performing check and uncheck. Here this is a site which I have used previously to create the video. If you want, you can use my website, the WishInfinite.com, to do the practice, right? Here you would be able to see or interact with the different elements, and if you want to follow an end-to-end scenario, you can log in into this e-commerce app and then you can perform different end-to-end scenarios also, right? After logging in, you can add an item to the cart and verify that it got added or not. Okay, so now let's go to the next question. So first we have this leaderboard, right? So Abhishek is now on the top with all the questions. Then we have Preeti, Saurabh, Sakshi and Shiva. Now let's go to the next question. So here is the question: if a checkbox has role equals to checkbox but is not input type equals to checkbox, will check work? And here you have different option: no, yes, only with click, and only with JavaScript. So now you can select the correct answer. So here the type would not be checkbox, but here the role is going to be checkbox. I would not be able to see the specific example for now onto the site, but if you see anywhere that role is there, right, with the checkbox, so you can use the check method or not. So we have got 86% yes and 14% only with click. Let me reveal the correct answer. So this is the yes, right? So we can use the check method even though it is not a type equals to checkbox, but role is the checkbox, right? So if you are seeing this particular checkbox anywhere onto your site, you can simply use the checkbox. For now, I'm not having the specific example ready for that, but if you see any such checkbox, you can try to use the check method and it will be working there. Now let's go to the 8th question, that if multiple radio buttons share the same name attribute, what happens when one is checked, right? So you would be seeing multiple radio button, for all of them name is same, and then if you, what will happen when one is checked, right? All become checked, only the selected one remains checked. It throws an error or nothing changes. So this name attribute you would be able to see with the input element, right? I will just give you the example. So we have got 71% selected for the only the selected one remains checked, and 29% for it throws error. Let me reveal the correct answer. So option B is the correct answer. Let's say if there are multiple elements or multiple input fields which are checkbox and for them which are radio button, and for them the name attribute is same, so what will happen, right? So it only the selected one remains checked. And let me give you one example here. So see, these are the radio button, right? I will inspect it. So see, for the first radio button, the name attribute is radio group. Right, now let me inspect the second one. See, for this input field also, where the type is radio, but the name is same, radio group, and the same name is there for the third radio button. So if you use check method on any of the element, let's say you detected the element using data-test ID, right? So what you would be doing, page.locator and then this data-test ID, right? And here you would be performing the check method for this third radio box. So it is going to just select this one only, although the name attribute is same for all the radio button, but that is the group, right? Radio group, and it is going to only select the specific radio button only. So don't get confused if name is same for all the radio buttons also. You need to use the check method that we have already discussed, right? You can try to do the practice. If you are still having any doubt, just install the Playwright if it is already having for you. Just create new file here, just import the test, create a test block, hit this WishInfinite.com and try to perform different operations onto that check or radio button, right? Now we have 9th question, which is why is locator.check preferred over locator.click for checkbox and radio? I mean, during our discussion also I have given you the answer. You can select the correct answer. That it is faster. It it automatically ensures correct checked state, right? It works only with Chromium and it skips validations. So now you can select the correct answer. So previously also while discussion I told you that why we do not use the click and why we prefer the check method. If any place you are seeing the click method, that is not totally wrong, but Playwright is specifically providing the check method, right? So you need not to use the click method. So here we have got answer 86% for the option B, and for the option C we have got 14%, and option B is the correct answer. Only it only ensures correct checked state, right? So that's what I told you, right? If you will be using click onto the checkbox, it will uncheck it, right? But here it is going to use, we are going to use the check method, so it ensures that particular element is getting checked only, right? Here there is no need to give more explanation, right? Playwright is specifically providing the check method, and we should use that so that we are ensured that we are just checking that particular element and not unchecking it by just clicking on it, right? Now let's go to our last question for this particular quiz, that can you uncheck a radio button using the locator.uncheck? So yes, no, only in Firefox, only if disabled. Now you can select the correct answer. Okay, so we have got 71% for the no and 29% for the yes. Let me reveal the correct answer. So correct answer is no, that you cannot uncheck a radio button using a locator.uncheck. And why so? Usually if you will see if I select a radio button and if I am again clicking here, I am not able to unselect it, right? Usually radio buttons are into the group. When it will get unselected? When we select or check any other radio button. Let's say if I select this third one, so automatically that first one got unchecked, right? But it cannot happen that if I select a radio button one time I can uncheck it, right? It is going to be selected only, right? So that's why here also I've never used for this radio button, I have never used that uncheck method. Similarly, if you want to uncheck something, you can select the second checkbox, right? So it is going to be the whole group, and here we want to select at least one answer, right? In case of checkbox, we can uncheck it, but in case of radio button, we cannot. So see here into the radio button, we have not unchecked it, but in case of checkbox, we can just use the locator.uncheck method, right? And now I think we are done with all the questions. Let me reveal the leaderboard. And now we have Abhishek, who is on to the top with all the correct questions within 1 minute 17 seconds. So congratulations, Abhishek. And then we have Preeti, Shiva, Sakshi, and Saurabh. So congratulations to all of you. And into the next video, we are going to discuss next topic, right? So till now we have discussed till this particular point. In the next topic, I will try to cover the select drop down in the Playwright, and if there is any bandwidth left for the questions, I will also try to put some questions related to the handle multi-select drop down. If there is no bandwidth for all these questions, so we would be covering them into the separate videos only, right? So if you have not watched these videos, I would recommend you to watch the video. And I would again remind you that I've created this JavaScript related video. Similarly, you can go through this particular video by the next week. I've already created the video, some editing is going on. By the next week, you should be able to see one more video related to the TypeScript. So you would be able to compare that. What is the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript, right? And why we are using TypeScript rather than JavaScript, although both are almost same, right? TypeScript is superset of JavaScript, but usually, if you will see when you will install the Playwright also, automatically it selects the TypeScript, and then we can change it to JavaScript. So it is preferred to use the TypeScript, but it is not mandatory, right? You can use JavaScript or any other language also. So once you see both the videos, you would be able to identify that what is the difference. And even if you develop it onto the JavaScript, it is very easy to transform it into the TypeScript, and vice versa, right? If you have written something into the TypeScript, you can easily, it is not going to take much time to transform it into the JavaScript, right? So once the second video is released, you can watch that. And now I think we are done with all the questions. We have revealed the leaderboard. And what is this date? So previous week I have already shared the free membership. Next week I will do that again, right? For this week I'm not sharing any membership. So wait till then. And if you have any question, just please let me know. I will just wait for 1 minute, and we have got some questions. Just let me go through that. So we have got one question from Saurabh. Let me show it onto the screen. So if I use name as locator, so I will get strict mode violation error, because it is same for all 3 buttons. Why should I use data test ID if you asked name attribute in question? Saurabh, second part I'm little unclear. What you want to ask? Why should I use data if and test ID if you asked name attribute in question? Is it related to the specific question which you are asking, Saurabh? Okay, that's why the main reason is that only, right? If you are going to use name to detect the locator, you are going to get that strict mode violation, or you'll have to use this first or nth or last method to detect a single element, right? So that's why we are going to use, either you can use data if and test ID, or any other element or XPath, or you can use get methods, right? Get by methods to detect the element rather than using that name, right? Because you are going to get error. So there's no point of using such elements. Let me just quickly check question number 7. We have got one response from Saurabh that it was related to the question number 7. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so if a checkbox has role checkbox but is not input, will check work? So I think we were talking about different question, but yeah, on to the high level, I will tell you, right? If you are not able to, at every time you should be able to detect a unique element. If you are not able to do that, right, initially only we are going to get the error. Or you can use just first, nth, or the last element. Let's say if you are having 3 checkboxes or multiple checkbox, to detect the unique element, then only you can perform or use play check or any other method, right? So if you are going to use just the name, it is going to detect multiple elements and you would not be able to select the specific option. Now let me take the next question. Saurabh, if you are still having doubt, just let me know. I can clear that. Okay. Now we have a comment from Sakshi. As always, good session. Thank you, Sakshi. Now we have one more question from Shiva. Will you help to take mock interview on Playwright? How to contact by email? So Saurabh, so Shiva, you can see my email ID onto my channel, right? It is WishInfinite01@gmail.com. So from here you can click onto this view email address, and then you can see my email ID, right? It is the email ID where you can send me the mail. For now, I am not taking any mock interview, but I mean, we can plan it, right? There is, I mean, we can plan an interview where we can make it live, or we can create a video and we can upload it. So if you are interested, just let me know into any of the comment section, or you can connect me through this email ID, and then we can decide, right? Now we have one more question. No, I think we have taken all the questions, right? From Saurabh we have got, yes, I will connect separate. Yeah, Saurabh, you can connect me on, I mean, you can just ping me or reply me onto any of the comment, right? Any of the video which you are watching, and if you are still having doubt, right, I can clear your doubt. You can give me a scenario and I should be able to explain it, or keep your question ready for the next live session and we can discuss that. Okay, we have got thanks from Shiva, and now I think we have covered all the comments and questions. Okay, and next week by Saturday or Sunday I would be creating one more live session. I think I will be having it on to the Sunday, so at that time we can discuss if you are still having doubt related to this particular session, right? And there we are going to discuss questions related to the select drop down. So if you have not watched the previous video also related to the live quiz, you can just go to this particular playlist, right, which you would be able to see there onto my channel, which is this one, and you can watch complete end-to-end series, and here you would be able to see multiple questions, live quiz which we have previously discussed. So although it is not necessary that you are going to get answers from all the topics, right, but usually if you would be aware about all the topics, right, it doesn't matter that from which particular topic they are going to ask the question. Okay, and guys, if we are not having any more questions, so I will close this particular session. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.